Let's cut the noise for a second. Forget the highlight reels. Forget the hustle quotes. Forget the fake grind culture where everyone's rich at 22 and nobody talks about pain. Because the story, it starts with screaming. Not the loud kind, the silent kind, when your body gives up and all you can hear is your own mind breaking. That's what happened to Alex. One day, he was chasing dreams, building muscle, living loud. And the next, he was a prisoner in his own body. No warning, no time to prepare, just darkness. Now here's the question. What would you do if you couldn't move? Would you fight? Would you crumble? Or would you disappear quietly, like most people do, emotionally, mentally, spiritually? Before you answer, keep watching, because Alex didn't just survive. He rose, and his story, it will change the way you see your pain, your fears, and your so-called limits. It was supposed to be an ordinary Sunday. Alex, 27, had just landed a new job. He was lean, driven, and living like a future CEO. Early gym sessions, cold showers, whiteboards full of goals. He talked big. He dreamed bigger. But life doesn't care how hard you're working if it wants to test you. Driving home one night, tired but wired, a drunk driver missed a red light by inches and slammed into the driver's side at 70 miles per hour. That sound, that crunch, it didn't just break metal. It fractured destiny. He woke up 3 days later in a hospital bed, surrounded by tubes, wires, and confusion. Why can't I feel my legs? Silence. The doctors shuffled in, heads down, and then they dropped the bomb. Spinal cord injury, T4 vertebrae. You'll never walk again. That sentence echoed louder than the crash ever did. And in that moment, Alex didn't just lose movement. He lost identity. You don't realize how much your sense of worth is tied to your ability to move until you can't. No gym, no independence, no more handshakes, no more looking people in the eyes without them looking down at you. He couldn't feel the ground beneath him, so the world stopped feeling real. They wheeled him to the bathroom. For the first time since the accident, he caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror, pale skin, shrunken arms, hollow eyes. The once confident man who posted workout selfies and 5 a.m. cold plunges was gone. And what replaced him? A ghost in a hospital gown. He turned his head away. He couldn't bear it. They say grief has stages. Denial, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. Alex got stuck on stage 3 because it wasn't just a wheelchair. It was a slow erosion of everything he thought made him worthy. His muscles faded. His friends disappeared. Even his reflection became a stranger. Ever cry so hard your ribs hurt, but can't turn your body to wipe the tears? He did, night after night. Because the worst part of paralysis isn't immobility. It's invisibility. No one looks at you the same. And worst of all, you stop looking at yourself. Who am I if I can't run, can't work, can't make money, can't even pee without help? He thought about ending it all, multiple times. Because when you lose everything society says is masculine, worthy, strong, you start wondering if your life has any weight at all. One night, he stared at the emergency call button in his room for hours, not to call the nurse, but wondering if the cord was strong enough to end everything. But he didn't do it, not because he was brave, but because he was numb, empty, like there was nothing left to even kill. And maybe you're feeling that too, not physically paralyzed, but mentally stuck, scared to take action, scared of judgment, scrolling endlessly but doing nothing, dreaming big but never moving. Here's the truth. You don't need a wheelchair to feel stuck. You just need fear that's louder than your belief. But something happened at his lowest. One night, alone in the rehab center, Alex stared at the ceiling fan, motionless, mind racing, and then a whisper in his head. If I'm still here, there's a reason. That's when everything changed. He stopped asking, "Why me?" and started asking, "What now?" He devoured books, mindset, neuroplasticity, stoicism, entrepreneurship. He trained his mind like most people train their abs, daily, relentlessly, without excuses. His body was limited, but his will untouchable. He practiced gratitude, even for the smallest things. Breathing, laughing, the nurse who remembered his name. He started visualizing himself winning, not physically, but mentally, financially, emotionally, because life didn't take his ambition. It just gave him a new battlefield. He started pushing his wheelchair, first down the hospital corridor, then outside, then up ramps, then into rooms full of people who still stared at him. But he stared back. He started posting online not as a victim, but as a vessel, sharing pain, sharing power. Not fake optimism, but real growth. At first, nobody watched. Then hundreds. Then thousands. Then one post hit 1 million views. People weren't inspired because he could move. They were inspired because he couldn't and still chose to move forward. He built a brand, a business, not selling pity, but power. He mentored people who were stuck mentally, emotionally, financially. He taught them, your limits are rarely physical. They're mental prisons made of fear, shame, and excuses. He started a podcast from his bedroom, interviews with fighters, survivors, underdogs. No fluff, just real talk. His audience grew. 100K, then 300K. Brands came calling. But Alex didn't chase clout. He chased impact. He learned copywriting, online marketing, public speaking. He studied millionaires, not for wealth, but for resilience. And slowly, his pain became currency. Today, Alex speaks in boardroom schools and conferences, not standing tall, but sitting strong. He's helped over 10,000 people reprogram their beliefs, regain their confidence, and start again. No six-pack, no fancy car, just relentless clarity. Because he realized strength isn't about what you can do. It's about what you do when you can't. He now mentors entrepreneurs, students, veterans, and trauma survivors. He volunteers at hospitals, guiding new spinal injury patients through their first terrifying weeks. He runs workshops teaching digital skills, mental toughness, and how to turn personal stories into purpose-driven brands. He even went skydiving, strapped to an instructor, just to prove to himself and the world. Fear might ride with me, but it doesn't drive. And maybe that's what you need to hear right now. You're not too late. You're not too broken. You're just untrained. Because confidence isn't inherited. It's built moment by painful moment when you show up anyway. So ask yourself, what's really holding me back? A disability or a decision I keep avoiding? Let me ask you something real. How many more years are you going to waste doubting yourself? How long are you going to let fear be louder than your ambition? And how many dreams are going to die in your mind because you're afraid to look stupid? We all want the lifestyle, money, respect, peace. But nobody wants to crawl through the fire to get it. Alex did. And if a man who can't move his legs can build an empire with his mind, then what's stopping you? You have 2 arms, 2 legs, a phone, a brain, a heart. So what are you waiting for? Permission? Stop rehearsing failure. Stop reliving doubt. Start taking your power personally. Because confidence isn't born, it's earned. And if you're still caught in your head, spiraling, doubting, overthinking every step, it's time to break the loop. Backhand index pointing right. Watch this next. Kill the thought loop. How to stop overthinking and take back control of your life. This isn't just your next video. It's your next decision to stop spinning your wheels and start walking your path. Alex couldn't walk, but he still moved mountains. So what's your excuse?